What nobody tells women over 40 about riding. Welcome to Hot Flashes and Horsepower, the podcast for women who didn't slow down. They just shifted gears. I'm Shell, road name Pass Out, and around here, we talk motorcycles, midlife, confidence, reinvention, relationships, and everything that comes with finally stepping into who you really are. And today, we're talking about something nobody seems to say out loud. What riding in midlife actually feels like as a woman. Because let's be honest, our bodies change, our confidence changes, and our priorities change. But that doesn't mean the ride is over. Sometimes it's finally the beginning. What are the things nobody warns you about? You know what's funny? When men get older and ride motorcycles, people call them experienced. When women get older and ride motorcycles, people act shocked. Like, what? You ride that? At your big age? Yeah, yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I sure as hell do. And I think one of the biggest things nobody tells women in their 40s and 50s and beyond about riding is this. You're going to have to mentally fight the idea that you're somehow less capable just because you're getting older. And honestly, that's not coming from the motorcycle community half as much as it comes from society in general. Women are expected to get smaller as we age. We're expected to get quieter, safer, more careful. But motorcycles don't reward shrinking. They reward presence, confidence, awareness, skill. And a lot of us don't realize until later in life that we actually have more of those things now, not less. Now let's talk about the physical side of this. And let's be honest here, because yes, things change, and pretending that they don't doesn't help anybody. Maybe your knees hurt more. Maybe your grip strength isn't what it used to be. Your endurance may have changed. Maybe you notice balance feels different at low speed. That's real. It's real. But here's what I wish somebody had told me earlier when I first started riding. You don't have to ride like a 25-year-old man to be a powerful rider. You need to ride like you. And that changes everything. Your strength will change. Your core stability matters more now. Flexibility matters more than brute strength. Get in the gym if you are not already there. You need to be moving. You need to be focusing on flexibility and resistance training. You need to be lifting. And I'm not saying you got to go turn into a crazy gym rat, but what I'm saying is that your body will thank you if you are taking care of your flexibility and your strength in the gym, if you're keeping it moving. When you get on that bike, your body will feel a whole lot better when you get off on the other side of the ride. Now, hydration and fatigue hit differently in midlife, and heat tolerance and menopause symptoms on rides are very real. You need to start realizing that comfort is not weakness. Stretching before a ride, that's smart. I don't care if you look like a nut in the parking lot at Buc-ee's or Flying J or Love's. You know, you're gassing up, you're over there by the pump and you're doing your yoga stretches. Girl, don't worry about what anybody else thinks, because trust me, your body's going to thank you. Taking breaks, that's smart. If you've been riding for a while, maybe you could easily push 200 miles in a leg. No problem. Guess what? As you get a little bit older, your body might appreciate a little bit more frequent breaks. Don't beat yourself up over the fact that maybe you go 120, 150 miles in a leg now. That's okay. Adjusting your setup so your body isn't fighting the bike. Oh my God, that is genius. I think a lot of women secretly struggle because they feel embarrassed admitting something feels a little bit harder now. But listen to me carefully. There is no trophy for suffering on a motorcycle. Half the modifications that men brag about, they're for comfort. And somehow women still feel weird about admitting they want a more comfortable setup. Nope. Set that bike up for your body. Make that bike fit you. There is no shame in that. Now let's get practical, because this is the stuff I wish somebody had sat me down and told me when I first started riding. Number one, your seat height matters more than your ego. Especially for you sisters who maybe are a little more on the petite side. If you are struggling at stops, lower the damn bike. Seriously. I know some people act like lowering a bike somehow makes you less legit. That's freaking ridiculous. If you can be confident at a stop, it's going to change everything. Do not be ashamed to lower your bike. Number 2, ride the bike that fits you. Not the bike somebody else thinks you should be riding, not the bike that your boyfriend picks out for you, or the bike that the guys at bike night are going to respect, or the bike that's going to look cool on your Instagram feed. Nope. Ride the bike that when you throw that leg over and you sit down, you feel like a unit. You feel confident. You feel like you are locked in with that machine. That is your bike. Tip number 3. Wind management is going to change the game. Listen, a good windshield or fairing, that is not old lady behavior. Wind fatigue is real. It's brutal, especially on longer rides. I just came back from an 1,100-mile ride one way to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and back. So almost 2,300 miles plus round trip. The ride across northern Arizona, northern New Mexico, the Texas Panhandle, and Oklahoma was pretty much nonstop, brutal crosswinds with the occasional turn into a direct headwind. That was a ton of fun. I got my ass handed to me, but let me tell you this, had I not had a windshield on my bike, I don't know if I could have completed that ride. It was that tough. So do not ever feel ashamed of having a windshield or a fairing on your bike. It's a practical tool and it will make your rides so much more pleasant, especially if you're going distance. Tip number 4, upgrade that seat. Do it early. Factory seats lie to you. You go into that dealership or you go over to see that private seller and you throw your leg over that bike and you sit down and you're like, yeah, this seat feels great for about 30 minutes. You get on that first long ride and suddenly you are questioning every decision you've ever made. There are so many great aftermarket seats that you can upgrade to. Some people love Mustang. Some people love Saddlemen. There's a bunch of great brands out there as well as custom seats that are available. Now, your bank account might disagree with you when you say, hey, I want to upgrade this seat, in which case there are some accessories that you can use to make your seat more comfortable. For everyday riding around town, I personally use a sheepskin seat cover. It keeps my seat cool in the hot summer, keeps me from getting swamp ass. And in the wintertime, it keeps my tushy warm. I love it. That's my everyday ride seat cover. Now for longer rides, like the trip I just took to Tulsa, I swap that out for a gel seat cushion from a company called Shake. And that was a game changer for me. There were no pressure points on my sit bones. My tailbone was not screaming. My back felt good. Now, both of those options, the sheepskin seat cover and the gel seat cushion, are removable. So if you're parking somewhere overnight and you're worried, hey, somebody might come and pop this off my bike and steal it while I'm gone, you can throw it in your bag, lock it up, bring it with you up into your hotel room or whatever. It's just a real easy modification that goes so far in terms of comfort. Now, tip number 5, build your skill, not your ego. Especially if you're a newer rider, that slow speed practice is going to make you a stronger rider faster than trying to look cool ever will. Spend time in that parking lot. And I'm not talking minutes or hours. I'm talking days, weeks, or even months of invested time working on your U-turns, your turns from a stop, your swerves, your quick stops, all of that. Commit it to muscle memory because let me tell you, there is nothing more humbling than trying to make a tight U-turn in front of a bunch of experienced riders and struggling. That is so humbling and so humiliating. So lock that in. Get so comfortable with your bike on those slow speed maneuvers that they become automatic. Now let's talk confidence versus ego. This might be the most important thing I say in this episode. Confidence and ego are not the same thing. Women riders over 40 often become better riders because we actually understand that. Younger riders tend to push beyond their skills. Mature riders typically assess risk differently. Ride your own pace. You'll hear people say, ride your own ride. Take that seriously. Do not be pressured into moving in ways that you are not comfortable or ready. Ride within your ability. Sure, stretch yourself, challenge yourself, but do so intelligently and safely. Thinking about group rides. There is no shame in declining to ride with a group. I know a number of veteran riders, experienced ladies who've been riding for years or even decades, who decline to ride in groups, especially larger groups with people they don't know. They have their own reasons for that. That is their right. It is a smart decision for them. And I support that. So don't ever feel pressured to ride in a group or ride with individuals that you don't feel comfortable and confident riding with. You don't need validation at this age. A lot of us are done trying to impress people, and that actually makes us safer riders. We don't ride in spite of our age, ladies. We ride because of it. Can we talk for a minute about being underestimated? Because if you are a woman in midlife on a motorcycle, I guarantee you've experienced this. You ever had a dude mansplain your own bike to you? Don't you love it when they do that? If people assume that you're riding backpack, that you're the passenger. Yep. Yeah, people act surprised when they see that you actually ride damn well. That's always fun. You ever had young riders dismiss you? Here's the thing. At this point in my life, I don't need everybody to understand me. And honestly, motorcycles help teach me that lesson. There is something incredibly powerful about us as women deciding that we're still allowed to take up space. We're still allowed to seek adventure. We're still allowed to feel alive. That matters, especially now. If today's episode hits home for you, I want you to come join the conversation inside the Hot Flashes and Horsepower Facebook group. And I want to hear from you. What's one riding tip you wish you knew earlier? I would love it if you drop your best trip in the group. Help a sister out. Because the truth is, a lot of women are watching from the sidelines, wondering if they still can. And sometimes one honest conversation is all it takes to get somebody moving again. Thanks for riding with me today, ladies. And remember, we are not winding down. We are just getting started.